Good afternoon, everyone. In today's class, we are going to look at question 3 of the paper 2, the Csec Mathematics paper 2. So we will start off by doing July 2021, question 3. The question reads, the diagram below shows the triangle PQR in which the angle at P is 62. So we have that. The angle at Q is at 90 degrees. So we have that. And the length of the line PR is 11. So we have some information given to us in the question. For 1 mark, they ask to find PRQ. From our knowledge, we know the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So the sum of the angles in a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So once we know that the angle PRQ plus 62 plus 90 will give me 180. So therefore, PRQ is equal to 180 minus 90 plus 62. And 90 plus 62 is equal to 152. And 180 minus 152 will give me 28 degrees. Any questions so far? Do you all understand how I get 28 degrees? All right. We want the length of side RQ. So we know that this angle here is equal to 28 degrees. And we want the length of RQ. So we want this length here. So we have the 62 degrees is opposite, right? And we have the 62 degree angle. We have the missing side RQ. And we have a length that is L. But L is called the hypotenuse. How do I know it is the hypotenuse? Because it is opposite to the right angle. No problem, Sharona. So the side opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse. So we have the opposite side and we have the hypotenuse. So we need to determine which trig ratio we can use to find the length RQ. So the trig ratios, sine, cosine, tan, SOHCAHTOA. So sine of an angle deals with opposite and hypotenuse. And in our question, we have the opposite side, which is RQ, and we have the hypotenuse. So we are going to use the sine ratio. So sine of 62 is equal to the opposite, which is RQ over 11. We are going to cross multiply. PQ multiplied by 1 is equal to 11 sine 62. So PQ or RQ this is RQ. So if we multiply 11 by sine 62, we will get 9.71 centimeters. So in questions like these, it is important that we know the sine ratio and the cosine and the tan. those are called the trigonometric ratios. And in case you forget them in the exam, they are listed on the formula booklet on the front page of your mathematics question paper. So our goal for each question is for us to get 5 or more marks. There wasn't anything difficult to find the angle at R. How I know it is the angle at R? Because R is the letter that is in the middle. So if we know the angle at P and the angle at Q, we can find the angle at R by adding those two angles and subtracting it from 180. That will give us 28 degrees. To find the length of side RQ, we simply have to use one of the trig ratios. The trig ratio that I will use is based on what information is given in the question. Here I have the opposite side. That is what I want to find. That is the missing side. How do I know it is the opposite side? Because it is opposite to the angle 62 degrees. That's okay, Nirmala. Similarly, angle Q is at 90 degrees, and that is opposite to 11. So the angle, the side that is opposite to the 90 degrees, we have a special name for that. That is called the hypotenuse. So in my question, I am given two sets of information. I am given the opposite and the hypotenuse. This will tell me that I have to use the sine ratio. So sine of 62 is equal to the opposite, which is RQ over 11. By cross multiplying and writing to one decimal place, I will get RQ as 9.71. So far, we would have scored 3 marks in this question. Okay, so this one says, the diagram below shows 3 triangles, X, Y, and Z. Triangle X is mapped onto triangle Y by reflection. State the equation of the mirror line. So this triangle is mapped onto this triangle by reflection. What is the mirror line? Well, just as we stand in front of the mirror and our reflection is projected the same distance as we are in front of the mirror, we need to find the mirror line that is the symmetrical line between those two objects, meaning that it will be the same distance behind and the same distance in front. So from observation, here is 2 units, and this is also 2 units. So this line here is my mirror line. And this is also called the x-axis. They ask us to find the equation of the mirror line. So by writing the x-axis, that is not the correct answer. Yes, it is the x-axis, but the line, the equation of the line is y equal to 0. You may ask, but miss, how is that line y equal to 0? Because on the x-axis, we only have x values and y is 0. So the equation of the x-axis is y equal to 0. So the equation here, y equal to 0, and this is the x-axis. Why? Because on the x-axis, y is 0 and we only have x values. The next part says, describe fully the transformation which maps triangle X onto triangle Z. So we need to see what is the transformation that maps triangle X onto triangle Z. So here, this is the two that we are concerned with, X and Z. So what we are going to do, it is not a reflection, because if you look at the orientation of triangle X, it is not in the same orientation as Z. So which means triangle X went through a rotation. A rotation of how many degrees we have to work out. So it is not a reflection, it is not a translation. A translation means that the object and the image did not change the orientation, right? So X was rotated to form triangle Z. So what we are going to do, we are going to connect corresponding sides or corresponding vertices of triangle X to triangle Z. So the tip here, I am going to connect this tip with this tip. This is a straight line, right? The next thing I have to do is connect the second set of vertices. So I have this one and this one. And the last pair of vertices, I have this and this. So here I have 3 straight lines that connect the vertices. So the next thing I want to do is to draw a right angle or to bisect these lines. So if we take our protractor and we line up the baseline on one of these lines here, we will be able to bisect it at 90 degrees. So what we will do, we will take our protractor and we will line it up here, right? And you will notice that here would be 90 degrees. So this is 190 degrees. Then I can bisect this angle here by placing my protractor and identifying the 90 degrees. Here would be 90 degrees. So that is 2 lines here. 2 lines, I have 90 degrees. So the last one now, I am going to take my protractor and I'm going to place it here. And I'm going to bisect this angle. So this will be 90 degrees. So the 3 lines intersect at this point, which is 0, 0. So to find the center of rotation, I simply connect the vertices of the object and the image and bisect the line. How am I going to bisect the line? All you have to do is to take the protractor, line it up with the baseline, and where the 90 degrees fall, you are going to draw that line, right? So you will see where the 3 lines bisect, that is the center of rotation. So here is called the center of rotation. So you will get 1 mark for that. The center of rotation is 0, 0. So this is the center of rotation is the point 0, 0. Notice that it is worth 2 marks, so you have to write 2 things, right? And if we go like how a clock turns, it goes from 1 to 2 to 3, that is a clockwise direction. However, if we go from 12 to 10 to 9, right, that is anti-clockwise. So this triangle is being rotated in an anti-clockwise direction. about 90 degrees, because here we can see this is a 90 degrees, here is 90 degrees, here is 90 degrees. So it is a 90-degree rotation about the origin. Anti-clockwise, 90-degree rotation. So that will give us our 2 marks. And notice for the marking, if it's worth 2 marks, chances are you have to write 2 lines to get the marks. On the diagram in page 10, translate y using the vector. So they gave us the vector. All we have to do is to take the vertices of the triangle y, add it to -7, 1, and we will get the image V. So here, this point is 6 minus 2. This point here is 4 minus 4. And this point here is 0 minus 2. So we're going to take the coordinates, 0 minus 2. So 0 minus 2, and we're going to add it to -7, 1. So go ahead, add it. Add those 2 coordinates and get the coordinates of the new point for the image of V. So go ahead. So the first one we have is that, then we have -6. We have 6 minus 2 plus -7, 1. Then we have 4 minus 4 plus -7, 1. So add those and see what answer you get. And that will give us the image V. Here we will get -7, -1. So on our drawing, we have -7, -1. So this is my first coordinate here. Here is -7. So this is my first coordinate. Then we have 6 minus 7 is -1. And -2 plus 1 is also -1. So this is my second point, -1, -1. And the last one, 4 minus 7 is -3. -4 plus 1 is -3. So -3, -3. So here would be -3, -3. So this is my new triangle here that has gone through the translation, -7, 1. So this is V. So this is only worth 1 mark. So which means you are expected to know to add the vector to each of the indices, each of the vertices, sorry, to give you the new point, right? On the diagram, enlarge triangle X about the center and scale factor 1/2. Label this image W. So far, even if we did not get this part here, we would have gotten 1 mark. We would have gotten 2 marks, that is 2. Here we would have gotten 3 marks, and this would have been 4. So around 4 to 5 in each question will be okay. Even if we didn't get this 2 marks here, and we didn't get this 2 marks, that is fine, right? So we are aiming for at least 4 to 5 marks in each question. and it takes some practice. So on the diagram in page 10, enlarge an triangle X about the center and scale factor W. So let's see. Now, it means that triangle X is going to get bigger and then it is going to get smaller. So this is X. So if we have a scale factor of a half, it means that it is reducing. The triangle is now going to be reduced, right? It is going to be reduced, and we have to find the new coordinates of this, right? So it's going to be reduced by a scale factor of a half. So we're going to take that large triangle and make it smaller. So let's look. This distance here is 2 units. So if we are going to reduce it by a half, it means this point is going to come here. So that is my first point. So that is my first point. In addition to that, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6 units in length. So if that is 6 units in length, then half of 6 is 3. So this is my second point. So far I have the base of the triangle. I now need to find that top piece, right? So if this is my triangle here, this is the base here of my triangle. Notice that it is half of that length there. I need to find the top part. So this is 2. So here, this would be 1. And here, this will be triangle. So this would be W. So to get a triangle with a scale factor of a half, it simply means that we take the big triangle and we reduce it by 0.5. So each length will be reduced by 0.5. So as long as we can find the points of the length, which is from here to here, we are able to identify the new triangle W, right? So as I was saying, even if we didn't get these 2 marks and we didn't get these 2 marks here, we would have still scored at least 4 marks in question. January 2021. The diagram below shows 2 pentagons, P and Q, drawn on a grid made up of squares. Select the correct word to complete the statement below. Now, if you notice, P and Q have some similar properties. It has the same shape. The only thing that is changed is the orientation. Now, it is not translated because translated is like a slide. It's like you standing at one point and you move your left foot and you take a slide. That is a translation. A reflection is you standing in front of the mirror. So clearly, P and Q is not translated and it's not reflected. So that is 2 out of the 4 answers we have removed. It's either opposite or congruent. Well, it's not opposite. So the only thing is pentagon P, because it has 5 sides, is congruent. Why? Because all the corresponding sides are equal. So it is congruent. And the reason why it is congruent is because all 5 sides are equal. So that is 1 mark. Oh, they asked for a reason. So the reason is the length of all 5 sides are equal. So here we would have gotten 2 marks. All right, let's look at this one. Determine the angle WXY. So the angle we are referring to is the angle in the middle, which is X. We want to know how much is X. So there are some properties of angles that you are supposed to do, right? For example, this line here and this line here is what we call co-interior angles. And the sum of co-interior angles is 180 degrees. So we could find the angle at X. So this is 180 degrees minus 140. And this will give us 60 degrees. The reason is co-interior angles are equal. What do I mean by co-interior? They are U-shaped. So that is how you spot the co-interior angles. They are U-shaped. So that is 1 mark. We want to get ZVW. ZVW. So if I erase here, right, this is also co-interior, right? So the co-interior angles are supplementary, meaning that they add up to 180 degrees. So therefore, this angle is opposite to this angle, and they are supplementary. So this angle will be 66 degrees, right? So this angle here is 66 degrees. The reason, co-interior angles are supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. So that was 2 marks, right? So the angle at Z, so, okay, 2 marks just now, eh? All right. So this angle here is 66. This is 66. This one would be 114 because they are opposite. And the sum of the angles in a pentagon is 2n minus 4, right? So it is 540. So if we add 114 and we add 66, we add 114 again and 98, and we subtract that from 540. Here is actually 148. So we have a polygon. So let me erase this. We know 4 sides. It is called a rectangle. That is called a quadrilateral. And the sum of the angles in a quadrilateral is 360. So this shape is what we call a pentagon. So we need to know how many degrees are there in a pentagon. The formula is 2n minus 4 multiplied by 90 degrees. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. So 6 minus 90 degrees will give, multiplied by 90 degrees will give me 540. So this is not a quadrilateral that has 360 degrees. It is a pentagon and the sum of the angles in a pentagon is 540. We already identified that x is 66. So if x is 66, this is also U-shaped. Co-interior angles are supplementary. So if this angle here is 66, therefore we can find the angle at W. The angle at W will be 180 minus 66, which is 114. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 angles. So watch this. This is 98. So 98 plus 114 plus 66 plus 114 again. So 98 plus 114 plus 66 plus 114 will give me 392 degrees. So if I know I have 392 degrees and I have to find this angle at B, this will be 540 minus 392, which will give me 148 degrees, right? So the angle at B is 148 degrees. Now it is 2 marks, which means that you are expected to work out the angle here before finding the angle at B. That is why the question was worth 2 marks. Before finding the angle at V, you are expected to find the angle at W. And the angle at W will be 140 because co-interior angles are supplementary, right? They are not equal, but they are supplementary. What does the word supplementary means? That they add up to 180 degrees. Do you all understand that so far? Are you all understanding? Yes or no? All right, so let's continue. Now, this one I have to turn it upside down. So in every question tree, there's a graph. In every question tree, there is a graph question. The question here says the letter A and the point 6, 6 are shown on the grid. So we have the letter A here, and we have the point that is 6, 6. The enlargement of letter A by a scale factor of 2 about the center 6, 6. So we are going to enlarge, meaning that we are going to make bigger. We are going to take the letter A and make it bigger, and the center is 6, 6. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take our pencil and draw a line to 6, 6. So we are going to draw a line. So if you notice, that is 2 blocks. So we are going to enlarge it, meaning that we're going to make it bigger. So if we enlarge it from that point 6, 6, and we have 2 blocks, then therefore we're going to make it bigger by 2 blocks again. So this point here will be my top of my A, right? So we're going to do that for each of the points. So there's where my A is going to start. Remember, it is an enlargement, meaning that A is going to get bigger. Right. So let's go. So that was my first point. So I'm going to draw. All right. So we're going to draw a line from here straight to there. So that is, and from there, that length, I am going to extend that line the same distance. So notice it's about 1, 2, 3, 4. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be my next point here. So far I have 2 parts of the A. And in green now, when purple, I join a line here. So that is about 4 blocks as well. So this will come straight, that straight line. So if you notice, this is my letter A. From here to here and there. So that is my enlargement about 6, 6 on a scale factor of 2. So what I want you to do for me, if by chance you all have some time and you have some graph paper, what you will do, you will plot the point A. So take a clean graph page, plot the point A, then take your ruler and your pencil, and from that center, 6, 6, you are drawing straight lines and you are measuring the length. So if the length here is 2 centimeters, then you are extending it another 2 centimeters in the same direction, and that will give you the top of A. You do the same thing for each corner, and you will be able to draw the letter A enlarged by a scale factor of 2, center 6, 6. All right, so that was worth 2 marks. The translation of the letter A by a vector 3 minus 2. So it means that all the coordinates of the point A are going to be translated by the vector -3, 2. So we have to identify the coordinates of each of the vertices of that A. Right? So it is going -3, 2. So we could do it one out of 2 ways. We could list all the points. So we could list the vertices of this point. So if I erase here, this point here is moving -3. So it's not moving to the right, it's moving to the left. So we move in 1 place, 2 spaces, 3 spaces to the left, and 2 spaces upward. 1 space, 2 space. So that is my first point. The second one now, this is moving 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces. Then I am moving 1 space, 2 spaces upward. That is the end of my A, right? Then in another color now, we move in 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, and 1 space up, 2 space up. So therefore, my letter A would look like this. Here I have translated the letter A using the translation vector -3, 2. -3 means we move into the left, and +2 means that we move upward. Do you all understand that?
Yeah, miss.
Now, what about if we're not so graphically inclined and we can't work out that? Well, here's what you're doing. You're taking the coordinate here, which is 3, and you're taking the coordinate, the y here, which is 2, and you're adding -3, 2. So 3 minus 3 will give me 0, and 2 plus 2 will give me 4. So which means this is my point. So you could take the point of each here and add -3, 2, and you will get the coordinate of the new translation, right? Okay, now let's look at this one. The diagram below shows a hexagonal prism. Complete the following statements: the number of faces, the number of edges, and the number of vertices. So if you notice, it's a hexagon. The prefix hex means 6. So we have 6 faces right around. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces, 6 rectangular faces, and 2 faces that are hexagons. This is one hexagon, and this is another. So this prism has 8 faces, 6 of which are rectangular and 2 are hexagons, right? They also asked to find how many edges. So now each side of the hexagon has 6 edges. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 edges, and we have here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 edges there. So that is 6 plus 6. We're not finished yet. We have an edge here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18 edges. So in this prism, we have 18 edges. All right, so we have 8 faces, 18 edges, and let's see how many vertices. The vertices at the top, the points here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 vertices. 8 faces, 18 edges, and 12 vertices. The sports club shows a field PQRS in the shape of a quadrilateral. A scale diagram of this field is shown below, right? So this question, the one with the fence, I will need to demonstrate it on the board. So I will do this question on the board, and I will send the recording for you all, right? Because I don't want to stop and have to go there. We'll be wasting time. So this part of the question, I will send it for you all a little later. Let's look at the quadrilateral here. So every question 3, you are given some sort of translation. Write down the name for the quadrilateral PQRS. PQRS has 1 pair of parallel sides, and we have a special name for PQRS. It is called a trapezium. PQRS is mapped to P prime, Q prime, R prime, S prime by an enlargement with a scale factor K about the point. Using the diagram, determine the values of A, B, and K. So here's what we're going to do. This is worth 2 marks. So we have to get the center of enlargement, which is AB, and we have to get the scale factor. To get the scale factor, and this will help you in the multiple choice, the scale factor is equal to the length of P prime S prime over the length of PS. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. This is 1, 2. So it means that the scale factor 2 could go into 6 3 times. The scale factor is 3. So here I would have scored 1 mark, because if you look at that small trapezium, it is enlarged by a scale factor of 3, meaning that each length is multiplied by 3 to give me my new diagram, right? Now, that will give me K. So K is the scale factor. So the only thing I need to do is find the center of enlargement. So here's what we're going to do. You are going to connect corresponding sides, and where the line intersect, that is the center of enlargement. So watch this. We're going to connect P to P prime using a straight line, okay? Using a straight line, I'm going to connect P to P prime. That is one line. Then I could connect Q to Q prime using a straight line as well. Oh, this is not correct. Right. It must touch here, and this line must be extended. Right? Now, I will connect R to R prime. So, and I will connect S to S prime. So all the points lie here at this point. And the coordinates of this point here is none other than, this is 1, 2, 3, negative 4, 1. So the coordinates of this point is negative 4, and here's 1. So my center of enlargement is negative 4, 1. So to find the center of enlargement, I just extend the lines, and I must connect corresponding vertices. So let me show you all that again. So this is what I have. I'm going to connect Q prime to Q. So I draw in a straight line from Q to Q prime. Then I'm going to extend this line. The line has to be straight, right? Then, all right, let me start with P and Q. So we connect in this point here. Right. Then I could connect R to R prime. So I draw in a straight line from R to R prime. Right. Notice that it's somewhere here where the lines intersect. So this here is negative 4, 1, and that will give me my center of enlargement. So you don't need to connect all the 4 lines, but when the lines intersect, that will give you the center of enlargement. So you're supposed to be able to get the scale factor and the center of enlargement. And what I would like you to do is, when you get some time, take some graph paper and draw these diagrams exactly how they have it here. And you work out the center of enlargement and the scale factor, because in each question, we are aiming for at least 4 to 5 marks. All right? Now, I want to do, so you see this question here? I will need to demonstrate that on the board. So I will need to send you a video explaining how to do this question, right? So I'm not going to use my time here with you to do that. I will send you a video probably before the end of the day explaining how to draw those triangles. We want to go to this diagram. Triangle ABC with vertices 1, 1, 1, 4, and 3, 1 are shown in the diagram. So ABC is mapped onto a reflection. Reflection is like a mirror image. It is mapped onto a reflection in the x-axis followed by a reflection in the y. So we're going to take this triangle and we're going to reflect it in this axis first. So this is how the triangle is going to look. Remember, the object and the image must be the same distance behind and in front of the mirror line. So this is my new object, A prime, C prime, B prime. So I reflected it in the X. The question also says that it is reflected in the Y. So I'm going to reflect it in the Y now. So this is 1 point here. So here will be 1 point, right? Then this will be like that. So this is A double prime, C double prime, B double prime. So that would have given me 2 marks for that drawing. Describes fully a single transformation. So we needed to label this LMN. So this was supposed to be LMN. LMN, right? Describe fully the transformation that maps this to this. Watch it. We want the transformation that maps that triangle to that. So remember, what is a translation? Is a slide. Like you are doing a dance, you are standing on one point, you move your left leg, that is a translation. A reflection is a mirror image. A rotation is when the image has changed the orientation. So here we have a rotation. So we need to work out the center of rotation. How are we going to get the center of rotation? Well, we're just going to connect up the points here and measure the angle. So we're going to connect up the corresponding points and measure the angle. So if you notice, this is my center of rotation. That point 0, 0. The point 0, 0 is the center of rotation. And this angle here is none other than 180 degrees, right? So it is a 180 degrees rotation about the origin. So 2 things again. It is a 180 degrees rotation about the origin, which is 0, 0. So it's 2 marks, so which means you have to write 2 things. You have to give them the center of rotation, and you also have to give them the angle. So if you notice, you're probably thinking, well, how did Miss get 180 degrees? This is a straight line, and the angles on a straight line is 180 degrees. So if you put your protractor and you measure it, you will get 180 degrees. So ABC is rotated about the origin 180 degrees to get the new triangle LMN. All right? State a 2 by 2 matrix for the transformation that maps ABC to LMN. So let's look at this. Here we have the point So let me erase this. This coordinate of this point here, this point here is 1, 1.
Good afternoon, Miss. Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. This point here is L is -1, -1. So it means that we have a point 1, 1 that is being multiplied by a 2 by 2 matrix, and we will get -1, -1. So some matrix is being multiplied by 1, 1 to give us -1, -1. So this is in 2 by 2 matrix. And in order for us to get -1 here and -1, here must be -1 and here must be -1. Let's work it out and see. When we are multiplying two matrices, we multiply it by row by column. So the first row by the first column. -1 multiplied by 1 plus 0 by 1. Row 1 by column 1. This is row 1 by column 1. Then row 2 by column 1. 0 by 1 is 0 and -1 by 1. Here I will get -1, -1. So it means the 2 by 2 matrix they are looking for. It's either here must always be 0, right? So what you put here will determine what you get here. We want two negative answers, so it means that the leading diagonal in this matrix must be -1, -1. All right? So the question 3, it's not as simple as the questions before. You need some practice. They always bring a graph question, so I suggest that you redraw the graphs and you try the question. All right? So these two questions, I am going to leave it for you to do for homework. We are going to take a short break. It is 5:06. I'm giving you all until 5:15, right? I'm giving you all until 5:15. When you return, we go to the multiple choice part, right? So whatever marks we don't score in the paper 2 is where we make up in the paper 1. So I encourage you to ensure that you go through the paper 1 answers and the questions in detail, because we need at least 50 out of that 60 in order to secure at least a grade 2. Right? So I know the paper 2 questions, some of them are a little bit harder than the others, but there must be something in the question that you are supposed to be able to score some marks. So it is 5:07. You have 8 minutes break. You will return at 5:15, okay? Have you all returned? Are you all back? All right, can you all hear me? All right, let's go. Number 21, 1/5x plus 2/3x. The first thing we need to do is work out the LCM. So the LCM of 5x and 3x. We can try x we'll get 5 and 3. 5 could go into 5 one time, and 3 could go into 3 one time. So the LCM is 15x. There's only one response with 15x. So my answer is D as in dog. There's no need to work out anything else. There's only one response with denominator of 15. So save some time in the exam. 7 times the product of two numbers. 7 times the product of two numbers, A and B, is simply 7AB. Number 23 is one that comes regular. It's popular, so you all try and remember it. What is the value of x squared plus 3x over xy if x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 2? So we just simply replace x and y. So 4 squared plus 3 by 2 over 4 by 2. So 4 squared, 16, 3 squared, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6 over 8, 22 over 8, 11 over 4, which is 2 3/4. And as I said before, this one comes regular. Let's go. Number 24. 5 multiplied by 2x minus 1 is equal to 35. So we can use the distributive law and distribute the number outside to each term inside. So 10x minus 5 is equal to 35. When we remove this and carry to the other side, the sign needs to change. So 10x is equal to 35 plus 5. 10x is equal to 40. X is 40 over 10. X is equal to 4. We could check our answer because 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. And 7 5s are 35. Number 25, John has X marbles. So we can write that. John and Max. John has X. Max has twice as many. So he will have 2 by X, which is 2X. Max gives John 5 of his marbles. So Max gives John 5 of his marbles. So he gives John 5. So John will have his X plus 5 from Max, which is X plus 5. And there's a lot of variety in this question. So we need to read it carefully. Number 26, a squared minus b squared. We simply replace. So they gave us, okay, a squared minus b squared. We want to work out. We have to find b. So a is 3. B is 6. So that means 3 multiplied by some number will give us 6. Therefore, b is 2. So a squared minus b squared. 3 squared minus 2 squared. 9 minus 4. The answer is 5. All right, I do encourage you all to practice the questions before you come to class. The order of a matrix, the order is given by the number of rows by column. Rows 1, 2, 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. My answer 3 by 4. The answer is C. The determinant of the identity matrix is, the identity matrix is 1, 0, 0, 1. And the determinant of the identity matrix is when you cross opposite ends of the diagonal. So it is 1 multiplied by 1 minus 0, which is 1. So the determinant of the identity matrix is 1. Number 29, I want us to pay special attention to 29. It comes in a variety of forms, but yet it is one that CXC tends to bring time and time again. P is 3, 2. Q, -1, 4. We want P minus 2Q. 3, 2 minus 2 by -1, 4. So this is 3 minus 2 by -1 and 2 minus 2 by 4. So these two signs will merge and give me a positive. So 3 plus 2 is 5 and 2 minus 8 is -6. 5, -6. All right, so when you get some time, try. The questions were posted for you and the answers will be posted too. So you try and do it on your own as well. Item 30 refers to the following diagram of a triangle OLM, which R is the midpoint of OL. Right? R is the midpoint of OL. OR is A and OT is B. We want RM. All right, so we want to go from R to M. All right, so we have to find, so R is the midpoint of OL. So if R is the midpoint and OR is A, RL will also be A. And if T is the midpoint of OM and OT is B, here would also be B. Right? We want to go from R to M. So watch this. We can go from R to O, and we could go from O to M. So RM is equal to RO plus OM. But in the direction O to R is A, so therefore if you go in the opposite direction, it will be minus E. So this would be minus E. And OM would be B plus B will give us 2B. So the answer is 2B minus E. So we just have to follow the direction of the arrows. If we are going in the reverse direction, the sign on the variable must change. So to go from R to M, we must go from R to O and then O to M. All right? Number 21, the product of the number P and its reciprocal. So P over 1, therefore the reciprocal is equal to, we flip this, 1 over P. So the product of P and its reciprocal is C. Number 22, the area of the rectangle is x squared. We know area, length multiplied by width. So x squared is equal to the length, which is x minus 4, multiplied by the width, which is 2. So x squared is 2 into x minus 4. The answer, A as in apple. And this one, item 22, it is a popular one. All right. Number 23, Althea saves X dollars each month. Althea saves X dollars each month. But in June, she saved 4 more than twice her usual amount. So she saved 2x plus 4. 4 more than twice her usual amount. She saved 4 more than twice her usual amount. All right, number 24 is a giveaway. You don't want to work out anything. If you start off with 3 and you end up with 1, it's supposed to be obvious that some sort of subtraction takes place. And the only answer that has a negative is A. So come on, the answer is A. You have to work out nothing. You don't have to work out anything. Number 25, 5n plus 1 multiplied by 5n plus 2. If the base is the same, we can add the powers. N plus 1 and n plus 2. This will give us 5. 1n plus 1n will give me 2n plus 3. I know you can't see it properly, but the answer is B. All right. Number 26 requires some working. We need to use the distributive law and distribute 5 to each term in the bracket using multiplication, and then 3. So 5 by y is 5y. 5 by negative 2 is negative 10. Negative 3 by y is negative 3y. And negative 3 by 4 is negative 12. We're going to group all the like terms. 5y minus 3y minus 10 minus 12. 5 minus 3 will give me 2y is equal to 22. So y is 22 divided by 2, which is 11. The answer, D as in dog. Number 26, if the determinant is 0, then the matrix is singular. For singular matrix, the determinant is 0. Number 28, we want to work out the order of that matrix. That's all right. All right, so row by column again. Row by column. So we have 1, 2, 3 rows. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. The answer, 3 by 4. Now look at 29. 29 is one that comes regular with the same values, but sometimes they change it up. So now they want negative p minus 2q. So negative 3, 2 minus 2 by negative 1, 4. Negative 3 minus 2 by negative 1 and negative 2 minus 2 by 4. This is going to merge and give me a plus. So negative 3 plus 2 and negative 2 minus 8. The answer, negative 1, negative 10. D as in dog. So the question comes different, but if you learn how to work out the question, you are supposed to be able to apply the knowledge that you have and get it correct. All right, let's go. Look at 30. It is one that is similar, right? And they like to bring this vectors question. So watch again. OR is A. OT is B. So here is A and here is B. We want to go from L now to M. So we must pass through a connecting point. So we will travel from L to O. So LM is equal to, my start point must be L and my end point must be M. And whichever point coordinate I put in the middle, it must be the same. And then I'm going from O to M. So LO to OM. So going in this direction is A plus A, which is 2A. Going in this direction. But if I am going in the reverse direction from L to O, this becomes negative 2A. Negative 2A plus 2B, which is the same as 2 into b minus a. The answer, D as in dog. So think about vectors as you are traveling along a particular direction. So you want to go from L to M, the passage is blocked. You cannot pass here. So you need to find an alternate route. So you will go from L to O, and then you will travel from O to M, and you will still arrive at your destination, which is M, right? And if you are going in the reverse direction, the vector needs to change. January 2020, we need to use the distributive law to distribute 4 to each term using multiplication. So 3x minus 4 into x plus 6. 3x minus 4x minus 4 by 6. So if you have 3 of one quantity and you want to take away a bigger number, well, the answer must be negative. This will give me minus x minus 24. Number 22, we did that just now. The answer is D as in dog. Number 23, 4 less than 2x less than or equal to 6. We divide by 2. So 2 is less than x, less than or equal to 3. The answer, A. Number 24, 3 star 6 is equal to 12. So we have an operation when we put a first and a second number, we will get 12. So let's try D. So 2 by 3 plus 6 will give me 12. So that works for this. Let's try 2 star 5 is equal to 9. So 2 by 2 plus 5 is also 9. So the answer is D as in dog. So we have to do it using trial and error. And rather than going from A to D, I tried the last one first, and it so happened that that is my answer. All right, number 25, P plus Q is equal to -1, and PQ is equal to -6. So two numbers when multiplied together to give me -6. So it's only obvious that one of the number must be positive and one must be negative. So P is equal to -2 and Q is equal to 3. But I can't use -2 and 3 because P plus Q is -1. So it means that my larger of the two numbers must be negative. So this is -3, right? So PQ -3 cube plus -2q. So is it p cube? Yeah, -3 plus 2. Right? So -3 multiplied by -3 multiplied by -3 will give me -27. And -2 by -2 by -2 will give me -8. So the answer is -27 minus 8. 27 and 8 is 35. But the answer is supposed to be -35. Just now. P plus 2 minus 3 plus 2 is -1. We want p cube plus q cube. So -25. See in 1 minute. There's an error in this question because, okay, so let's see. All right, so let's try it back. So we have two numbers, which when multiplied will give me negative 6. So P multiplied by Q will give me negative 6, and P plus Q will give me negative 1. In order for me to get negative 1, it means that this must be negative 3 plus 2. So therefore, P is equal to 3 and Q is equal to 2. So P cubed will be negative 3 cubed, which is negative 27, and Q cubed is 2 cubed, which is 8. So when I add negative 27 and 8, I will get negative 19. So the answer is A. All right. Number 27, the distance that an object, the distance L that an elastic string is stretched by hanging an object of mass L varies directly. This is our keyword. So L varies directly as M. So in mathematics, we change the approximation to an equal sign. And by doing so, we introduce a constant M. So notice that they give us the mass and they give us the length, right? So we have to find K. So L is 31, the mass is 5. So therefore, if we divide both sides by 5, K is equal to 31 over 5. So to find how far the object will stretch, L is equal to 31 over 5 multiplied by 29. And we will get 179.8. The answer, D as in dog. Given A is equal to that, 3A, well, we multiply each of the elements by 3. So 3 by 1 will give us 3. 3 by 3, 9. 3 by negative 3, negative 9. 9, 0, 15. My answer is A. The determinant of P, well, we cross opposite ends of the diagonal. So 8 multiplied by 5, take away 6 multiplied by 7. So 40 minus 42, the determinant is negative 2. B as in boy. All right, look at this. 29 is one that comes in different ways. So it is the same P minus Q vector. So it's 3, 7, take away negative 2, 5. So 3 minus minus 2, 7 minus 5, this will form a plus. So 5, 2, the answer C. And obviously number 30 is a vector. We want to go from P to L, right? But to go from P to L, L is the midpoint of PR. So really and truly, we need to find PR. So PR, I will go from P to Q, and I will go from Q to R. So notice if I'm going in the opposite direction, this becomes negative A plus B, which is equal to B minus A. So PL is equal to a half of B minus A, and the answer C. So the vectors question comes in different ways, right? So it is important that we learn how to do these questions. I did give you I will send the answers, and I did give you the worksheets for you all to try. All right, this one, again, 3x, 5x, x, 3, 5, 3, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1. LCM, 3 by x by 5, 15x. D is the only one with the 15x in the denominator. So D is the answer, right? When 5 is added to a certain number and the result is multiplied by 3, the answer is 27. So if we divide both sides by 3, 5 plus x is equal to 9. Well, x have to be 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 3s are 27. Number 23, we did this one already. The answer is D as in dog. 26, we did this. 24, sorry, we did that. The sum of two positive numbers, sum means to add. The difference is 12. What is the smaller number? Well, P is equal to Q plus 12. So therefore, Q plus 12 plus Q will give me 32. So 2Q is equal to 32 minus 12. 2Q is equal to 10, is equal to 20. And Q is equal to 10. So if Q is equal to 10, then P is equal to 22. The smaller number is 10. Number 26, 3x squared multiplied by 2x cubed. We multiply 3 by 2 to get 6, and we add the powers since the base is the same. So 6x to the power of 5. The answer, B as in boy. (27) If two matrices are conformable, meaning that you can work it out, then, so let me show you something. 2, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1. The order of this matrix, this is a 2 by 2, and this is a 2 by 1. These two matrices, or these two matrices, can be multiplied if these two numbers all right, these two numbers has to be the same, and this is the row by column, row by column. So it is the number of columns of the first matrix multiplied by the number of rows of the second. The answer is B. And learn that, please. The determinant of the identity matrix is 1. I just showed you all that. And look at it. Number 29. So this is a pattern for CXC, right? So P minus 2Q. 3, 2 minus 2 by negative 1, 4. So this is 3 minus 2 by minus 1 and 2 minus 2 by 4. So this will give me 3 plus 2 and 2 minus 8. The answer, 5 minus 6. And I am sure that the next question is a vector. All right. So let us go. WR. So we want to go from point W to R. So XY goes in the same direction as XZ. So this is U. And YZ goes in the same direction as XW. So in this direction here, this is V. Right? So if I want to go from Z to R, I am going in the reverse direction. So this is negative a half V. Right? And WR is equal to U. So WR is equal to WZ plus ZR. So WZ is U minus a half V. The answer A. So at this point in time, try as much as possible to go through all the multiple choice. The multiple choice is critical and it is crucial in securing a proper grade. Let's go. The product of negative 2a and negative 3a. Negative 2a multiplied by negative 3a. This is going to merge and give me a positive 6a squared. A by a will give me a squared. If 6 is added to a number and the sum is divided by 3, the result is 4. The answer, B. Althea says, we did that already. This one, I told you if you start off with 3 and you end up with 1, it must have some subtraction. Number 25, this is a popular one. The answer is D. Number 26, we are going to use the distributive law and distribute negative 2 to each term. Negative 2x plus 8. The answer, B. Number 27, we did that already. If the determinant is 0, then A is a singular matrix. What is the order of the matrix in number 28? So we have 1, 2 rows multiplied by 3 columns. Here we have 1, 2, 3 columns, 3 rows multiplied by 2 columns. These two numbers must be the same. So we will get a 2 by 2. The answer is E. Number 29, look at this. Negative P minus 2Q, negative 3,2 minus 2 by negative 1,4. So negative 3 minus 2 by minus 1, negative 2 minus 2 by 4. So negative 3 plus 2, negative 2 minus 8. The answer, negative 1, negative 10. So sometimes the questions come back, especially number 29. And look at this, we want to go from Z to R. So we're going from Z to R. So WX is the same as ZY. So Z to R is the same as Z to Y and then Y to R. But this is the same as WX. Right? So right away, my answer must have WX. So this and this out. Then I want to go from Y to Z. So it is really in the reverse. I'm not going in this direction here, but I'm going in the reverse direction. I'm going this way. So I want to go from Y to R. So let's see here. From Y to R is the same as a half WZ. So I'm going from Y to R. So this is minus a half WZ because I'm going in the opposite direction. The answer, A as an apple. Sorry, E. All right, let's go. Oh, we have some practice questions here for you all. All right, so take a few minutes. We still have some time. Take a few minutes and do numbers 21 to 23. Are you all hearing me?